Deep inside the worldwide scouting movement, there's a secret that's been hiding in plain sight for over a century. It's a quest to build a global brotherhood, one word at a time. And today, we're going to uncover the hidden story of the Scouts' secret language. It all kicks off with this pretty surprising line from the founder himself, Lord Robert Baden-Powell, in his original 1908 handbook. He wasn't talking about some little code or secret handshake. He was pointing his Scouts toward a real whole international language. So, that's the big question we're digging into. What exactly was this language? And why on earth did the guy who started the Scouts think it was so important for his young members to learn it? The answer, well, it pulls back the curtain on a fascinating piece of hidden history. Now, when you hear secret language, you're probably thinking of some complex, exclusive code, right? But Baden-Powell's vision was the complete opposite. From the very beginning, this was meant to be for everyone. Just one penny. I mean, think about that. Baden-Powell made sure that anyone could get their hands on a guide to learn this language. His vision was crystal clear. He wanted a tool for communication that any scout, no matter their background, could use to connect with the entire world. So what is this language anyway? It's called Esperanto, and its whole reason for being just lines up perfectly with the international ideals of the scouting movement. Esperanto was actually created by a Polish doctor, a man named Zamenhof, who wanted to build a simple, logical second language for everybody. The idea was never to replace your native language, but to act as a sort of common ground for talking to people from anywhere. And this, right here, is the key. Unlike English or French or any other national language, Esperanto doesn't belong to one single country or culture. It doesn't carry any of that political or historical baggage. It was literally built to be a totally neutral bridge language so that people from different backgrounds could meet on equal footing. So while Baden-Powell planted the seed, the idea really took root in maybe the most unlikely place you could ever imagine, the trenches of World War I. Okay, I want you to picture the scene. It's 1918. The Great War is finally, brutally coming to an end. We're on the front lines in France, and amidst all that devastation, a huge problem is that Allied forces who speak different languages can't understand each other. These communication breakdowns are literally costing lives and getting in the way of cooperation. And right there in the middle of it all is a British scout leader and medic, a guy named Alexander William Thompson. He's seeing this tragedy play out firsthand, and it hits him. If the whole idea of an international scouting brotherhood is ever going to work for real, scouts needed a common, neutral language. And that's when the light bulb goes on. And this is what he came up with. Can you believe it? While he was still in France, in the middle of a war zone, Thompson actually drafted a pamphlet proposing a whole new organization dedicated to this idea, the Skolta Esperanto Ligo, or Scout Esperanto League. And this was its emblem. And Thompson's plan, it was really thought out. He laid out 5 main goals for the league. First, to spread the ideals of scouting using Esperanto, so no single country's bias gets in the way. Second, to get scouts everywhere to actually learn the language. Third, to create scouting books and materials in Esperanto. Fourth, to publish a magazine to connect all the patrols. And finally, and this was the big one, to strengthen that feeling of a shared brotherhood among young people all over the world. And you know what? This idea, born on a battlefield, it didn't just fizzle out. No way. It actually grew into a global movement that's been quietly thriving inside of scouting for over 100 years now. Just look at how fast things moved. They held their very first international camp in 1922, only 4 years after the war ended. By 1930, their camps were attracting some pretty influential members. And then, in 1964, they got the big official nod. The World Scout Committee recognized Esperanto as a valid language for earning the prestigious interpreter badge, which really cemented its place in the movement. Speaking of influential members, get this, a young Harold Wilson, yep, the guy who would later become the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, was an active member. He was part of the Scout Esperanto League and even went to their international camp back in 1930. And the league started making waves at major scouting events almost right away. I mean, way back at the Third World Jamboree in 1929, you had nearly 100 scouts from 18 different countries who all identified themselves as Esperantists. Okay, now let's jump forward, way forward. to the World Scout Jamboree in Japan in 2015. The Scout Esperanto League had a stand there, and get this, over 1,600 participants visited it. That just goes to show the incredible staying power of an idea that's now well over a century old. And the belief in this project ran deep in the founder's own family. Years after her husband's death, Lady Olave Baden-Powell, the world chief guide, wrote this powerful endorsement. She wished Esperanto could be accepted worldwide to foster, in her words, good understanding between people who were divided by language. So, when you pull it all together, what's the big takeaway from this hidden history? What does this century-long experiment in communication really represent? In the end, the Scout Esperanto League was more than just a language club. It was founded on the belief that a neutral language could be a powerful tool. A tool for sharing ideals without any national spin, for building a genuine global fraternity, and for creating a level playing field for international friendship. Which leaves us with a final thought. We now have apps that can translate languages right in our pockets. But in a world that still feels defined by deep cultural and political divides, is the idea of a neutral language, one learned and spoken by humans to connect with each other on equal terms, still a powerful and maybe even a radical idea?